4 homers, 19 RBIs this year, 71 hits for Sanchez, and 6 of those came in one game against the Cubs. He had a 6-for-6 game May 25th at Wrigley Field. That's some good work.
That's awfully rare.
We see a lot of guys that don't have 6 hits in a week, much less one game. So
and he hits the ball everywhere. 29 hits to left, 14 to center, 23 to right. So he sprays it around nicely.
Big lead at first. You mentioned last night the key to stopping Nyjer Morgan is to make him stop as he measures off his lead. He had a pretty good spread away from the first base bag a moment ago as McCann hustles to the mound after a 2-0 count to Freddie Sanchez.
Yeah, he was getting a walking lead last night where he had his momentum going to second and easily swiped one.
Big lead, doesn't move, and Sanchez dumps the ball into right field. On comes Francoeur, loads up, throws back quickly, and not in time. Nice running catch in the sun field for Jeff Francoeur. Sanchez retired. Morgan backed first with 2 outs for Adam LaRoche.
Some good defense behind Jurgens already. Good break on that ball by Francoeur. And instead of a first and third situation, there's 2 out and a runner at first.
Adams had a good run of it, hitting .324 in his last 11 games. His average, though, for the year is .243.
Yeah, I mentioned he's had some better work lately. Those last 11 games, a .324 average, and some of that's on the road. Pirates are in the midst of 13 out of 16 games on the road, but Adam just hitting .165 away from PNC Park.
Oh, Morgan almost came off the bag with a good hard tag from Greg Norton. That brings back memories of his
yeah,
just World Series.
Just help him a little bit,
yeah.
there, Greg.
Whoa.
A pirouette. That's what we call it in baseball.
Pirouette. I like that. I thought that was kind of a special breed of dog, seeing as how it's bark in the park after dark night. It's not after dark, but it's still bark in the park.
Yes, interesting to see how that's going to work tonight.
Are we supposed to have a full moon?
I think that was a few nights ago.
So no howling noise.
That doesn't eliminate altogether.
No.
Yes.
Here, Bella, you want to taste that? No?
Here, how about a little sour cream?
Runner goes, swing and a miss. McCann's throw, short hops, and again Morgan almost came off the bag and reclaimed with the left toe. So he's got his 14th steal, and LaRoche a 1-2 count.
Well, they did freeze him, but look how big that lead is. He was straddling that cut of the grass, and lucky that he was able to stay close enough to the bag that Escobar didn't come back and get him. Huge lead.
A hit for LaRoche could put the Pirates in front, but you played in the era where there was a lot of turf fields in baseball. They would measure a guy's lead by having 1 step on the AstroTurf, 1 step on the dirt cutout. Where would you say Morgan's lead would have been on a turf diamond?
Almost close to having 2 feet on the turf. Certainly straddling that cutout.
2-2. Change-up misses. Now a full count. Well, the Pirates, a club that doesn't hit a lot of home runs. They have to manufacture their offense. They're 4th in the league in average, 8th in runs, but tied for the bottom with only 33 home runs this year. And of those 33 home runs, 9 of them were hit by Nate McLouth, who's now playing for the Braves. So that tells you just how powerless John Russell's Pittsburghers are this year.
Well, it's June 10th. They've hit 1 home run this month.
And for them to succeed in their park, they've got to have left-handed power and play the alleys in center and in left center. Hasn't happened yet. And another change is off the plate. LaRoche takes a walk. And now Andy LaRoche comes up with 2 on and 2 out.
and will, with the next pitch, be a 20-pitch inning. That efficiency I talked about already an issue. It looked like a pretty good backdoor pitch, though, he made to LaRoche there.
LaRoche hasn't homered since May 19th. He's hit 2 this year, 27 RBIs. And he's 2 for 9 in the series. Pirates making Jurgens work here in the opening inning. And he'll have to work some more as LaRoche gets hit. And on the ricochet, that ball clipped the mask of Brian McCann, so the bags are full now with 2 out.
They're trying to tie Andy LaRoche up inside. This is about the 3rd time in this series already where he's been spun around.
Moss comes up. He too with a low homer total. He's hit 1 and takes a quick strike. Outside corner with a fastball.
Good location with the changeup, and then just smoke that outside corner.
A Pirate at every base with 2 men out. And we'll do it again. Pirates come in 7 behind Milwaukee. They've dropped their last 3 ball games. Pittsburgh at 26 wins, 32 losses. They've had a dreadful time within their division and a dreadful time, as we showed you, on the road this year.
They're just 10-21 in their own division.
That makes it tough. And Jurgens strikes out Moss with the bases loaded. Second strikeout of the game, but boy, did he have to work. 24 first inning pitches as the Braves come up for the first time.
Braves will send to the plate here in the first inning Nate McLeod, Yunel Escobar, and Chipper Jones, who is tearing it up. McLeod's last 4 games, including 3 against the Pirates, good numbers. McCann the cleanup spot. Garrett Anderson bats 5th, followed by Greg Norton, who's at first base again tonight. Francoeur, Johnson, and Jurgens round out the order. On the mound for the Pirates, a familiar face, Charlie Morton, 25 years old, 6'4", 190 out of Connecticut. Last year went 4-8 for the Braves, but boy, this year at AAA Gwinnett, he got off to a great start. Went 7-2 with an excellent ERA, tons of strikeouts, and he made a start at Indianapolis for the Pirates. 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. I'd say he's ready.
And so's Nate McLeod. And Morton's first pitch as a Pirate is a fastball low at 93 miles per hour. Ever since the Braves put McLouth in the leadoff spot, this offense has been very, very good. The Braves have scored 18 runs with McLouth hitting first in 3 games.
Gotta like that. Sign of things to come, hopefully.
A hot shot to Wilson at short, and he'll make the peg to first, and McLouth retired for out number 1.
Well, they had that defense set up perfectly with Wilson cheating up the middle. Otherwise, that's a base hit. Charlie Morton has an excellent curveball. He throws hard. You just saw 93. Good fastball, curveball, slider. Changeup is a work in progress. No question about his stuff. Only a question about his toughness, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get a little bit thicker skinned about some things and be a little more aggressive.
Yunel Escobar, the batter. Mark Bradley, a fine columnist for the AJC, I think made a very telling statement about Tommy Hanson and Charlie Morton this spring. He said Tommy Hanson's a kind of pitcher that looks surprised when things don't go well. He said Charlie Morton at times last year looked like a player who was surprised when things went well.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think there were times last year where Charlie kept waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
You know, he was waiting for bad things to happen instead of accentuating the positive.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's that curveball you talked about. That and a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball. That's stuff you can't teach.
No, it's good. Good stuff.
So we wish him a terrific run with the Pirates, just not tonight.
No.
As Escobar, coming off a 3-hit night last night, breaks his bat, and Wilson had him played too low. Well, that bat shattered in 3 different pieces. 1 chunk ended up by Brian Snitker, and 2 pieces of lumber ended up by the Braves on deck circle. That is a real jam job, and Escobar's strength paid dividends here in the first.
Yeah, the fastball sawed him off, and Wilson couldn't quite get up high enough to haul that one in.
That was the jumping jack flash, by the way.
Jumping Jack Wilson, yes it was.
Here's Chipper, red hot, 5th highest batting average in the league at .335. He pops the first pitch up left side. LaRoche near the Pirate dugout. Will it stay in play? Oh, wow. That hit off the front of the dugout and almost clobbered LaRoche in the face.
Wouldn't that have been nuts? Standing there watching the foul ball come down, knowing you're not going to be able to catch it, and then just take it right in the noggin. Back at you.
Watch your lips.
Yeah.
Good reaction time. No balls in a strike. Wow. Double play ball maybe. Wilson, backhand flip for 1. Nice turn. Pulls LaRoche off the bag, however, and Chipper's aboard with 2 out. That ball was hit so hard it spun Wilson around at shortstop, and that messed up the timing of the play. 2 out.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot Sanchez could do after he got the toss, but turned blindly to first base. Just throw wide of the mark, and you could see LaRoche's toe kind of dragging off the bag. Not sure Sanchez was ever on the bag with the baseball, but didn't turn out to be a double play anyway.
So the flying feet of Chipper Jones keeps it alive for Brian McCann, who's 3 for 9 in the series. And you would think that of all the Braves hitters, McCann, as a former catcher of Charlie Morton, would have the best idea of his stuff.
One would think. Just depends on how Charlie pitches him tonight. Certainly won't be any surprise to Brian in terms of velocity. Charlie last year had some flashes of brilliance, including a start at Arizona in August. Set up 7 innings of 5-hit shutout ball. Walked 1, struck out 4. Had back-to-back starts where he worked 7 innings. Only got 1 win to show for it out of those 2, but there were times where he was mighty impressive.
And almost a year ago today, his first big league win came against the Angels. We were at that ball game out west. And McCann hits a mile-high pop up to the left side. Should be handled by Wilson. And short, And the inning is over. Charlie Morton back in Atlanta looked very good in his first inning as a Pirate. 13 pitches, retires the Braves in the first.
Brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. Tonight's topic, National League team starters ERA, and the Braves in 5th place there at 4.01. Dodgers leading the pack by just a smidgen over the Cubs. That Dodgers team, what are they, 10 games over 500 now, or is it more?
20 to 40.
20 games over 500. Mercy.
Good or bad?
That's very good. 8.5 game lead.
Yep, and they're going to get Manny Ramirez back without any rain delays in about 3 weeks. And where would they be without Juan Pierre? Boy, has he been a savior for them. He's been great for the Dodgers as Jason Jaramillo leads off the 2nd inning against Jurgens. And the count to the Pirate catcher is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Jaramillo with 1 home run this year. Will be able to tell his children and grandchildren. His first home run came against Johan Santana.
That's a good start.
Charlie Morton maybe hurt himself.
It didn't look like he was ailing any out there, the way he was airing it out and working quickly.
Well, that's the last thing the Pirates want to see. They just trade McLeod for Charlie Morton and 2 others. He pitches 1 inning of shutout ball and has to come out of the game.
I don't know. We'll see.
Second walk for Jurgens. His command not very good to start the game.
Steve Karstens, who was scheduled to pitch today and had to work out of the bullpen in that 15-inning game, begins to loosen up. Jeff Karstens, beg your pardon.
Boy, that would be unbelievable if Morton has to come out. We'll see. He's not on deck yet as Jack Wilson comes to the plate. Wilson at .266 on the year with a home run and 19 driven in, and that's spanked foul to the right side. In the National League, you have to have a batter in the on-deck circle, and no one is there yet. No balls, 1 strike. And now it's even 1-1. And it looks like it's not going to be Charlie Morton answering the bell. Wow. Zach Duke is in the on-deck circle. We're hearing some reports that Charlie was having some stomach issues before tonight's ball game.
So maybe that key to the game about Charlie's jitters.
Maybe the butterflies started landing. Ground ball to third, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now again, nobody's in the on deck circle. I'm sure Bobby Cox.
Zach Duke was, and then I think they brought some spikes out for him to put on. He had like tennis shoes on or running shoes, Chip. So I think he ran back to just put the spikes on.
You better hurry up. If Wilson strikes out, he's going to be up. But Jack Wilson not going easily, and the Pirates forcing that pitch count of Jurgens up here in the second inning.
Yeah, 35 already. There are the spikes for Mr. Duke, who started the first game of this series.
And that one turned into an extravaganza. 1-2 is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 15 innings. And it was a David Ross infield hit, chasing home Jeff Francoeur with the game-winning run. Full count.
Pretty good pitch there. I don't know what was wrong with that one.
You heard Bobby Cox shouting wow from his perch on the Braves dugout bench. Now let's see if the Pirates send Jaramillo. They do. Good jump. And another foul ball. Wilson giving Jurgens all he can handle here.
Soriano was able to strike out Wilson last night to end the ball game, and I was saying how tough he is to fan, but Soriano just blew him away. But he's giving you an example here of how he will battle you, fouling off pitch after pitch until he gets one he likes.
Again the runner goes. Again the pitch put in play. This one to straightaway center. McLouth drifting back now. Has room. Jaramillo standing atop the second base bag appeared to re-tag. And there's your first out. And indeed, Duke is going to pinch hit for Charlie Morton, who leaves after an inning. And we'll get the official word from the Pirates clubhouse. But again, our crew heard that Charlie had some stomach problems before tonight's start. And Duke bunts the ball. And Kelly Johnson over to the first base bag on the sacrifice. Runner to second now with 2 out.
John Russell talked to him before the ball game, the manager of the Pirates, and we were talking about Charlie Morton. He said he was excited about seeing him pitch. That he talked about his good outing in Indianapolis, and he got to see an inning.
He didn't say he was looking forward to seeing him chuck, was he?
Yeah, when I say he's a good hardball chunker, that's, you know, not sure that that's what he thought of.
No balls and a strike to McCutchen, who struck out his first time up. Seems like JJ, when he's had runners on, gets a little nastier, doesn't he?
I just don't want to read the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette tomorrow, and after all the Powder River stuff that GM's been taking in Pittsburgh over the deal.
Yeah, that's not going to play too well in a town that they call Steel City, is it?
No. So if it's a flu bug, it's a flu bug, and hopefully Charlie will be ready for his next turn.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 out, runner at second, and McCutchen chases a high fastball. Jurgens has struck out 3 in a scoreless game in Atlanta.
folks out in the Chop House enjoying this lovely evening here at Turner Field. No score. We go to the bottom of the second. Fans, it's time for the know-how question of the game. Built by the Home Depot. If you have a question, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachtreetv.com. Please tell us your name, where you're from, and on Bark in the Park After Dark night, your pet's name. Don't forget, more saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Absolutely.
And what's your dog's name?
Stinkerbell.
Stinkerbell, yes. Yeah. Okay. Want to give a little explanation on that one?
Yeah, my son Christopher, when we got her, it's a Brussels Griffon. The dog isn't as good as it gets, the big underbite.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what a cute little stinker. So,
is it similar to that little Yorkie there? It looks like a Yorkie?
That's a Yorkie, but yeah, it looks a lot like that, except it's black and has an underbite, and it's not a Yorkie. Other than that, they're very close. Four legs and a tail.
Well, a new chunker for Pittsburgh. Jeff Karstens 2-4. He got the loss here Monday night, pitching in relief, but he's made 10 starts. A 286 average against him. He's given up a lot of runs.
You couldn't resist, could you?
No, I couldn't.
Anderson, 3 for 8 in the series. Squibs the first to LaRoche at third. Time. 4 out, number 1. Look, we don't know for certain that it's a flu bug or something else that has bothered Charlie Morton. But we do know around baseball that has been a very big concern. The New York Mets had some players with some very big flu problems. Carlos Beltran, John Maine. In fact, one of the producers on SNY came down with a very serious flu bug, and they were concerned it might have been the swine flu stuff.
Wow.
So there has been a virus going around baseball the last couple of weeks.
Serious stuff. Greg getting a chance to get some at-bats, and that's good for him. I think a few more at-bats, he can get back on track.
When you look up at the scoreboard and it's almost mid-June and your batting average is 108?
Yeah.
Not good.
No, and he's only had 37 at-bats. How many of those? And 33 have come as a pinch hitter. So an opportunity for him to collect more than one at bat for a couple of nights in a row. Maybe that'll help him.
And he's getting a chance to play again tonight because Martin Prado still nursing a sore groin. Bobby Cox was talking yesterday about really how courageously Prado has played at first base the last couple of nights with very little mobility defensively for Atlanta. And the word out of the trainer's room is that Prado feeling better today. It's going to be a couple of weeks before that injury is 100% out of the way for him. And by that time, Casey Kochman should be back. And then the Braves can get their regular lineup together.
And Martin, tough against the better pitchers. This year against pitchers who are in the top 10 in wins. Martin's hitting .462 against those guys.
Win the battle, Norton.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Norton rolls one towards Sanchez at second. And there's your second out. Karstens, as you mentioned, pitched in relief here the other night and was moved to the pen in place of Charlie Morton, who's out after an inning. Now Karstens, in a relief appearance, can vulture his way to a win if the Pirates take a lead for him. Foul back. The official word from the Pirate clubhouse is not an upset stomach, but a tight hamstring for Charlie Morton. Fly ball well hit center field. McCutchen going back, still going back, and a great running catch. Oh, did he cover some ground? Francoeur hit it a long way to center, but the speed of Andrew McCutchen reared its head in the Atlanta second. 3 up, 3 down, and still no score.
Big Smile seat upgrade sponsored by Dr. Deborah Gray King and the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. The place in Atlanta to get a beautiful smile. Those folks right there behind the tarp. Actually, the tarp was on the field earlier this afternoon. Cut the Pirates' batting practice short when there was a little sprinkle that passed through. But so far, so good tonight.
And the Braves will use any home field advantage they can to beat up on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Mangan dialed up a little bit of a misting rain shower about an hour ago. But it's turned out to be a great night as Niger Morgan bats. He singled, stole a base, and was stranded at third. The Pirates loaded the bases the first time around. And now Morgan 2 for 2. Big turnaround first. Boy, does he put pressure on your outfield or what?
I like the way he plays. I think he's one of those guys, because of his speed, that he needs to learn to bunt a little more. John Russell was telling me before the game that one of the reasons they sent Andrew McCutchen back at the end of spring training was for him to learn to be a little more selective at the plate, thereby drawing a few more walks, and to work on his bunting too. But a big turn by Morgan.
Interesting too as you look at Freddie Sanchez, who flied out. McCutchen, the center fielder of the present and future for the Pirates, is in the leadoff spot. Braves brought up Jordan Schaefer to start the year and did not lead him off, batted him 8th for most of this season. Is Schaefer going to be this team's leadoff man, or is that going to be McLeod? And if so, will Schaefer be forced to hit lower in the lineup and be a run producer?
I would guess the latter. I would guess, at least the way things are going right now with the success the Braves are having with McLeod in the leadoff spot, there's no reason to change it. Did I read or hear somewhere that Jordan's wrist was bothering him again a little bit?
Yeah, I think that was on one of the web logs last night. A little bit of a wrist problem that's been troubling him of late. Big lead at first. And fouled away by Freddie Sanchez.
That's a good way to help. I mean, he didn't throw over to try to hold Morgan, but another good way to stall a stolen base is just freeze the guy. Just hold on the baseball a little bit longer. The legs get a little tight when you're in that crouch position, getting ready to try and steal.
Right center field, that's trouble. Morgan had to hold to make sure it would drop. Now he's around third as McLeod flips the ball back into second. Well, we haven't seen Nate much, but my impression of his arm is it doesn't appear to be all that strong in center field.
Hasn't cut one loose yet for us to be able to really check it out. But here's Freddie Sanchez again doing his thing. He's played against the Braves in 4 of the 5 games played between these two teams this year, and in all 4 games he's had a multi-hit game. 8 for 19 against Atlanta, now 9 for 21.
Now LaRoche, the hitter, walked his first time up. Pirates are at it again. They've had a runner in every inning. Stranded him loaded in the first. Left Jaramillo at second in the second. Now first and third with nobody out.
If you're batting in the middle of this order, Chip, you're going to have an opportunity to drive in a bunch of runs, provided McCutchen and Morgan are getting on base. You know Freddie Sanchez is going to be on, but all 3 of those guys run well, especially the first 2. LaRoche, for the year, though, just hitting .210 with runners in scoring position.
And he's a notoriously slow starter. And the cold weather in Pittsburgh certainly isn't going to help improve in that statistical category. But you're right. The 2 LaRoches ought to be able to clean up. Now had him down, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Strikeout would be nice here. Putting Andy LaRoche kind of on the hot seat to avoid a double play to get out of the inning, but you got to get the strikeout first. They just missed with a backdoor slider to LaRoche his first time up when he walked.
Broken bat roller. There's 1 at second. And LaRoche beats the ramp at first. Give him an RBI. Morgan scores. Runner at first, 1 out. The Pirates have scored first.
With it being a broken bat grounder, Kelly Johnson knew he wasn't going to get a double play, or chances were real good they weren't going to get one because it was so slowly hit. But he did the next best thing, and that was get the runner going at trying to advance into scoring position. Run scores, but at least it's just a runner at first left.
Now Andy LaRoche bats. He was hit by a pitch his first time and scorches one out of play to the right.
As we saw in the first inning, this is an area where Jurgens excels. He had left the bases loaded, but men on base at just a 197 average against him. Runners in scoring position, a 196 mark. He just needs to work out of the stretch less.
Yes, he's been there all night tonight. And he's got to worry about the flying feet of Adam LaRoche over at first base. LaRoche stole his first base of the year in the series opener. Has that career total all the way up to 3 now. And a squibber hit to the right side. Norton, a 360 spin, hits Escobar, who made a great play to come up with that laser beam. Wow. If Escobar doesn't catch that, that ball's in left field and in the glove of Garrett Anderson. 2 out.
Nice play here. But he threw a bullet to Unell, who was happy just to catch the ball and get out of the way from about 60 feet.
That might be turnabout as fair play. Bray's first basemen don't have a chance to pepper his glove like he does to them all year.
Good point.
Brandon Moss struck out to end the first inning. That came with the bases loaded.
Greg Norton's over there. Did you see him? He's talking to Andy LaRoche, telling him what his brother just said about him. He said, your brother's over here dogging you, and how your mom always liked you best and always thought you were the pet.
All those psychological advantages have to come into play in a big league game.
They stir it up.
Oh, absolutely.
Might be a fist fight in the dugout. You never know.
It's one sure way to injure a hamstring, too. You can always get another Pirate starter out that way. That can't hurt. 3 balls, no strikes. And 4 wide ones puts Moss aboard. 2 on, 2 out. And Jaramillo, the hitter, that's 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for JJ in the game, 3 hits. That's been the unlucky number so far.
And 60 pitches.
Yeah.
We're only in the 3rd inning.
Back to the LaRoches. That's got to be unbelievably fun, but unbelievably odd to be playing in the major leagues with your kid brother. In the case of Adam. And it's happened before. Dizzy Dean, Paul Dean, Big Poison, Little Poison, Lloyd and Paul Wainer.
Yeah, for these Pirates.
Yep. The Alous in their day.
Ripkins played together in Baltimore.
So it's a family affair in Pittsburgh. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jaramillo.
And the Aarons played together briefly in the big leagues, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Atlanta.
The Necros. So it's not as, I shouldn't say that it's not as rare as you'd think, but it's happened several times before. And that's what makes our game so great. It really is a family sport.
I don't know that they ever got to play together, but the Boyer brothers out of Arkansas, Ken, Cleet, Cloyd, all played in the big leagues.
Hal will check and see. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now it's 1 and 2. Ken Forsch, Bob Forsch.
Marcus Giles, Brian Giles.
Yep. Little flare into center field. That's in for a hit. LaRoche getting the wave. McLeod loads up. Throw to the plate's cut off.
I don't know why.
Somebody might have yelled cut. But Norton was there and looked like a strong and accurate throw was coming from McLouth. And J.J. trails 2-zip.
This looked like, from our vantage point, that this was right on line. And even Wilson was telling Andy LaRoche to get down. Throw was tailing back a little bit. That was going right over the top of the pitching rubber. Sometimes an opponent, third base coach, another player will start yelling, cut, cut. And as a first baseman, you don't know who's telling you to cut it, or you can't be sure that it's not your catcher. But that looked like a very good throw from Nate McLouth.
So the walk to Moss brings Jaramillo to the plate. He cashes in his 15th RBI. And now Jack Wilson, who I think has really personified the way the Pirates have tried to approach Jurgens tonight, bats for the second time. He fouled off a ton of pitches before flying out to center in the second inning.
Well, remember last night the Pirates already led 1-0. Then the Braves tied it in the third, and in the fourth, Pirates got 2, and it was set up by a 2-out walk to Hinsky, and then Diaz came through with a 2-run double. So walks have played an important factor.
Chipper to his knees ends the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, and a walk. And Pittsburgh in the third inning scores the first 2 runs of tonight's game. Right there, huh? No.
You know, I think we should go over and dress them up in funny hats and stuff,
Yeah.
and see how they like it.
Yeah. Well, I think we sympathize with the canine. And it's time for our Air Train Airways home run inning, where one lucky fan will have a chance to win free airfare for 2 if the Braves hit a homer this inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/Braves for the official rules and enter for your chance to win. Air Train Airways, go. There's nothing stopping you. With a man very concerned about canine rights, Joe Simpson, Chip Carey here at Turner Field.
I mean, just use some common sense.
Well, that was kind of a 4th of July looking lid for the dog.
Well, that's all right. I mean, putting on a red, white, and blue scarf, okay, I'm in, but
yeah.
Dog was humiliated.
Yeah, he looked really upset. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jeff Karsten's on in relief for his second inning of work. And ground ball to Sanchez at second. And there is your first out. From a hitter standpoint, we've got the air of specialization in the game now. You see different pitchers, 6th, 7th, 8th innings now. For guys at the bottom of the order like Kelly Johnson and now Jurgens, they were probably geared up to face Charlie Morton. Never saw him. What does that do to your preparation?
They were, but Terry Pendleton's got a book in the dugout that he usually refers to, especially for relief pitchers. And I'm guessing that with Karstens having been moved to the bullpen, he's probably a part of that book now, and the guys may have gathered around and say, okay, what's this guy feature?
He's got a lot of ground ball outs. That'll be his fourth. Hear Bobby Cox say easy, easy. So Jurgens doesn't hurt his hamstring tonight. And 2-0, 2 outs, bases clear, top of the Atlanta order.
And now it's time to take a look at the Piedmont Hospital injury report for the Atlanta Braves. Several the road to recovery there.
McLeod down the left field line, just missed. An extra base hit.
And don't forget, get the perfect balance of health and care at Piedmont Hospital, the preferred healthcare provider of the Atlanta Braves. Visit PiedmontHospital.org. One of the great places in America, Piedmont Hospital.
Yeah, they did a great job taking care of Dad in his final days last year, so our family is certainly appreciative of the folks at Piedmont Hospital. 0-1 the count to McLeod. And he takes a quick called strike. This is another thing that's got to change at the ballpark. They're dissing the dogs by not saying clap your paws. And they say everybody clap your hands. Dogs don't have hands, they have paws.
Well, they don't work on commands from the people, just the owners. Now, if the PA guy says everybody sit, got something going there.
There's a liner into left center field. That'll be the second Atlanta hit. Look at McLeod cut the bags, and an easy double for him.
He's had a good series against his old team. 5 for 12. I asked him tonight when he was going out for batting practice, I said, have you figured out yet that you're not in the wrong uniform? He goes, oh yeah. I said, it only took me about 5 minutes.
And he said it was the only time that was really awkward for him in this, the first time he's played against his former team. It's during batting practice. Everybody's milling around and saying hello and reintroducing themselves, for a lack of a better way of putting it. He said, but once the game starts, it's just like another game for him.
Sure.
And now he stands at second with Escobar up. Unell singled his first time up. That, however, was against Charlie Morton.
But hitting .421 with runners in scoring position. Right man, right place. I was looking to see how many guys had faced Karstens before. 7 different Braves have faced him, but 3 at bats, the most by anyone.
Go, come on.
One ball, one strike. 3.
That would be Mr. Norton, 0 for 3.
Popped up. And that should be easy for LaRoche. And it is. Jeff Karstens gives up a double to nothing else in the second in our Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. We invite you to register at PeachTreeTV.com/Braves for the official rules and your chance to win.
Bark in the Park after dark night. Time for the Toyota Tacoma trivia question. Who was the last Pirates pitcher to lead the National League in strikeouts?
Good one's Doug Drabek. Wasn't Bob Friend a Pittsburgh Pirate? John Candelaria?
Candelaria's the guy I was thinking of.
Jeff Karstens gets an at-bat tonight. Down 2 strikes quickly. Jurgens could use an easy inning. He's really run that pitch count up high. Next one will be 69 for the game. 3-pitch strikeout takes care of Jeff Karstens. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th inning.
Vernon Law.
Ah, very good.
Going way back. Was Steve Blass a big strikeout pitcher? He might have been a guy.
And then he mysteriously lost his command.
Yeah. 19 game winner. And then a couple years later, he couldn't throw the ball over the plate.
Now a great broadcaster with the Pirates and just a super guy. He doesn't do a whole lot of traveling. I don't believe Steve is on the trip with Pittsburgh.
He's not.
But he was part of that 71, right? The Pirates
right.
were world champions.
Uh-huh.
McCutchen pops it up right side. Playable for Norton. Lots of room over there, and he's getting plenty of help. And 3 straight retired by Jurgens now with 2 outs in the 4th. Niger Morgan the batter. McCutchen 0 for 3. Morgan 2 for 2. We just got to think at some point the law of averages is going to catch up with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they are going to have a winning season.
And Steve Blass doesn't travel. Bob Walk, former Atlanta Brave and former Pirate, is their color analyst on TV.
And master of the fake to third, throw to first pickoff play.
Well, remember that game he pitched against the Braves, facing elimination in Pittsburgh at Three Rivers Stadium. Beat the Braves, I think it was 7-1. Complete game effort. He was awesome that night. You had the Pirate fans dancing in the street.
Got another name for you. Man who's pitching tonight for the Red Sox. How about Tim Wakefield, that knuckleball? But 16 straight years without a winning season for Pittsburgh.
That's tough.
The Phillies share that record with the Pirates. And Pittsburgh, again, 6 games under 500 this year. If they don't win 82, will have that dubious record all to themselves.
And talking again to John Russell, the manager, before the game about how they were playing good baseball without arguably one of their best ball players in their catcher, switch hitting Ryan Doman, who's out till probably at least the All-Star break with a wrist injury. They were playing pretty well, but a lot of upheaval now.
Yeah, McLeod traded.
Young men brought up. I mean, it's a different mix. McCutchen certainly a terrific looking young player, but McLeod, no question, was one of the integral parts of the ball club on and off the field.
But they've got to find power, kind of like the Braves in their trade for McLeod.
You mean like Jason Bay,
Nady, yeah, all those guys,
those types of guys.
But it goes even beyond this regime. We talked about it last night. Bonds didn't stay. Bonilla didn't stay. And Jurgens doesn't stay on the mound long in the 4th inning. He's got 5 strikeouts. And the Braves bats try to heat it up tonight. Part of the order coming up, down 2.
Inning 2-0 Pirates. Time for the answer to the Toyota Tacoma trivia question. Last Pirates pitcher to lead the league in strikeouts. I'm going with Candelaria.
Okay. You're probably wrong.
Of course. Bob Veal.
Chipper steps into the first pitch of the fourth inning and hits it to right field, but not deep enough. Moss is there. One man down. One thing that's befuddled the Pirates has been their inability of their young pitching staff to really step up. I mean, you watched your favorite event, the WBC, this spring, and Ian Snell looked just dominant. But since has had an awful time for the Pittsburgh club in the regular season.
Well, he's another guy that when you talk to the Pirates people about him, they say they want him to toughen up a little bit and become a little more aggressive with his good stuff. Because I've always liked Ian Snell. He's always pitched well against Atlanta.
Zach Dukas had a good run. Tom Gorzolani was a starter and pitched very well either last year or the year before. Now he's back in AAA and pitching out of the bullpen.
He's got sent back today.
Yep.
And we'll see their ace tomorrow, Paul Maholm.
2 balls and a strike to count to Brian McCann, who topped out his first time. Now faces a 2-2 count.
So far, so good for Karstens, though. He's mixing his pitches pretty well. Saw Brian there, kind of one hand that one foul. He's doing a good job of changing speeds.
Oh, high changeup. Fills up the count.
I couldn't see how he was gripping that ball, but it almost looked like a palm ball. Might have been a circle change, but he had all of his fingers on that pitch.
Inside the bag, fair and into the right field corner. A 1-out double brings the potential tying run to the plate. 9th double for McCann, who's hitting .360 since coming off the disabled list now.
He's hitting 7 straight. Went down and got a pitch that was a little bit over the plate and kept it fair. So after making some pretty good pitches with changeups, looks like he made a mistake with a fastball.
Well, let's see if Garrett Anderson can do something here in the 4th inning. He rolled out to 3rd, leading off the 2nd. He was the first man to face Karstens tonight, after Charlie Morton left after 1 inning pitched.
Come on, Garrett. Come on, big guy.
I'll say this, Charlie Morton didn't look like anything was bothering him.
No.
Throwing 93 with a good hook.
And you can understand why, hey, if there's something wrong with the pitcher's legs, that's a sure way to potentially have arm trouble.
Well, there was a big summit meeting going on over there in their dugout after the 1st inning. The manager, the pitching coach, the trainer.
It took just 13 pitches for Charlie to get the first 3 outs of the game as Anderson off stride pops to LaRoche at 3rd base.
This changeup he's throwing, Chip, is really a good one in that it's 77, 78 miles an hour versus 90 on his fastball. So there's quite a difference, and the hitters have not adjusted yet.
And what is it that sells the pitch for the pitcher and deceives the hitter?
His motion. I was just watching that one. He even looks like he's trying to put a little extra on it to make it more deceptive, thinking that he's going to throw a fastball. Head's kind of flying open, and it looks like he's really trying to hump up, and then there's just nothing there.
Here's Norton. 0 for 6 in the series. And ideally, what kind of a separation gives a hitter more difficulty as far as the speed or velocity is concerned?
Well, that's pretty drastic.
That last fastball was 89. And now Norton into left center field. That's Death Valley. McCutchen has very good range.
Yeah, he looks so much like Willie McGee to me, only smaller.
Pirates will take that comparison right now if it proves to be true. 2-0 after 4 Pittsburgh.
Our new Pillow Top premium beds and the best in Southern hospitality. Jamison and you deserve a new deal.
5th inning already tonight in Atlanta. The Pirates up 2-0. And Freddie Sanchez, 1 for 2, will go to work first for the Pirates. He singled last inning, or the 3rd inning, the last time up for him, and has his average up to 313. And a changeup is over for a strike. Our pitch speed this inning brought to you by AM PM. Too much good stuff. Can you really have too much good stuff?
No. No, there's too much is not a bad thing. Unless it's M&M. Sometimes you will go a little too far on M&Ms.
I don't know. I haven't had any in so long. I've forgotten what they taste like. 0-2 the count.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, is that I've had them all.
Oh, I see. You're looking slim and trim. Wow, he must work out. 0-2 to Sanchez.
Yeah. CrossFit North Fulton is just wearing me out. Tough joint. Kathy's taking me over there, and they just
whip you into shape.
Oh.
Out of play foul. What's your favorite routine, if there is such a thing?
That might take a while.
Oh, gotcha. It's family show too, right?
Yes.
Ball in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
There's a little something there that you sometimes lose track of, and the catcher has to be aware of the count with 2 strikes on the hitter. Ball in the dirt, you got to block that ball in case he does swing at it so that he can't advance to first. You know, if you just kind of halfway try to catch the ball and it gets past you, and all of a sudden you never assume that the hitter might swing, but he does. And all of a sudden Freddie Sanchez is on base, which he does a lot of, and good numbers there against the NL top 10.
And how important is a play like that? Well, look no further back than the game against the Cubs, where Kevin Gregg struck out Garrett Anderson. The ball got away from Giovanni Soto. And with 2 outs, the Braves got another out. Francoeur hit a home run to tie the game. So you're right, that's a good point. Good job by McCann. Good job by Jurgens to get Sanchez 1 away in our 5th inning. Hunter Wendelstedt, the umpire tonight over at first base. As assigned by Major League Baseball, his dad, Harry Wendelstedt, one of the great umpires in Major League Baseball history, watching the game on the satellite tonight in Ormond Beach, Florida. And it's almost time for the umpire schools to crank back into session, and Harry has one of the best down in northeastern Florida. Umpireschool.com if you're interested. It's a great profession. It's a tough road to get to the major leagues, but Harry and his son Hunter have long distinguished themselves as major league umps. We hope Harry's doing well. Finish at the ball yard, Mr. Wendelstedt. Look forward to seeing you soon. 2 out.
I know there are some umpires in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what branch they're in. I don't know how often.
Bill Clem's in there.
I don't know how often they get nominated or considered.
Not often enough, I don't think.
Yeah, that's right. It's that old soapbox thing for me about the scouts too. I know they have some wings set up sometime or displays set up about scouts, but it's about time they start inducting scouts and umpires on a regular basis.
I'm with you, buddy. 8 up, 8 down for Jurgens, who's settling in the middle innings. And you're right, there aren't many umps in the Hall. We'll talk about some of the names that are when we come back. Down 2 to the Pirates.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be
Tour leads off the 5th inning. Pirates are ahead 2-0. Atlanta just 3 hits in the game. And Karsten's now his 4th inning of relief. And a pop fly foul. And out of play.
Just swung at the first pitch and went down 0-1. Almost half the time he swings at the first pitch. And John Shambi had a number on him the other night that I think it was like 69% of the time Jeff Francoeur hits with an 0-1 count. So it's in keeping with swinging at that first pitch a lot.
Pretty remarkable. He's hitting 242 that way.
Boy.
Most important pitch in the game is strike 1. It's a tough way to get it done. 4 homers, 25 RBIs for Jeff.
Did you see that?
Reaches out, put a foot in the bucket, and managed to stay alive.
That's quite remarkable. That last graphic we showed you, RBIs in consecutive games just once in his last 78 games. That surprises me.
Line to third, and on the fly, LaRoche takes care of Francoeur, who's 0 for 2.
You ask about the umpires, Chip, and there are 8 umpires in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Nestor Shylock, Bill McGowan, Tom Conley, Al Barlick, Jocko Conlon, Cal Hubbard, Billy Evans, and Bill Clem. Bill Clem umpired from 1905 to 1941, and virtually every one of his games was behind the plate.
Fly ball off the bat of Kelly Johnson to left. Morgan drifting back. And 2 are out. It was Bill Clem that had the record number of games umpired until Bruce Fleming caught him, I think, last year, correct?
That is correct. And Cal Hubbard has the distinction of being in the Baseball Hall of Fame and the NFL Hall of Fame. He was a lineman back in the early days of the league.
Wow, that's pretty cool. But I'm with you. Why? Jurgen's the batter. If a guy's one of the best in the business, how's Doug Harvey not in the Hall of Fame? He's a great umpire in his day. All those World Series and All-Star games.
Yeah.
What's the distinguishing thing that keeps him out? I just don't get that.
I don't know.
My soapbox is the broadcast wing. And my dad aside, how in the world's Pete Van Wieren not in the Hall of Fame now? Why not put him in and let him enjoy it? As Jurgens rolls it to second, and it should be handled easily, and it is. And the Braves bats not getting much done tonight. A 3-hitter for the Pirates, and they're through 5 of the lead.
Pirates still up 2-0. And a reminder, fans, that single game tickets to see your Atlanta Braves take on the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox June 23rd through the 28th at Turner Field are on sale now at Braves.com. Or you can also call 1-800-745-3000. These tickets will go fast, so you might want to call today. Call right now.
Ask for Beth Marshall.
Oh, you're in such trouble.
No, Beth is
You're just going to get it.
very, very involved in the Red Sox and Yankees ticket allocations, right?
That was Chip, Beth.
Brandon Moss, the hitter, at 253, struck out and he's walked. 1 ball, no strikes. Is she over there? Nope, she's probably manning the phones right now. The newly engaged Beth Marshall.
Yes.
By the way, 2-0 the count.
Braves handed out a press release on their draft choices. Braves drafted 29 players, 24 of them college players, which was a very high number by Atlanta standards. And what was not surprising is that no fewer than 8 players with Georgia ties.
I talked with Roy Clark about that 2 days ago, and he said, look, the state of Georgia has been great for the Braves in particular. The bad news is because they've had so much success in drafting and developing Atlanta and Georgia kids, the rest of baseball has sort of taken notice. Hey, there's a lot of talent we need to mine there. Jurgen strikes out Moss. That's 6 strikeouts for him. And 8 in a row have been retired.
That's another reason his record is just 5-3, with just a few more runs to work with. He'd be up there in wins, maybe even have more than Derek Lowe. But again, getting shut out tonight. He has not. This is his second start against Pittsburgh and hasn't had a run to work with yet.
What do they say? It's not how you pitch sometimes, but when. And JJ's numbers come up when the Braves haven't scored. They didn't score a run for him last time out when Milwaukee beat him 4-zip. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves need to win tonight. The Mets and Phillies are playing. They can gain ground on somebody in the division. Mets are winning again at home. That's 4-1 over the Phillies and Cole Hamels tonight. First time Hamels has faced the Mets this year after calling the New York club choke artists, for lack of a better way of putting it, in the offseason after the Phillies celebrated their world championship. So that's an emotional game tonight.
What did he mean by that?
Meaning, yeah, the last 2 Septembers haven't gone very well for New York.
He kind of beat around the bush there, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't come right out and say it. The radio hosts, of course, sort of egged him on and led him down that path. And Hamels was very eager to say, yeah, I guess you could say they choked. But I don't think he was talking out of school. The Mets players themselves have even said as much. And so with the Mets winning, Phillies losing, the Braves can win this game if that score up east holds. The Braves can find themselves 3.5 back, getting ready for a long and important road trip.
Yeah, they would have picked up a couple of games, 2.5 games over the last 2-3 days if they do that. But they need to come back and win. They were 6 back just 2 days ago.
Bobby Cox has had an eventful week. His 2000th Braves win. Thought his line was great before the game last night. Sorry it took so long to get to 2000.
Yeah.
Now he's at 2001, 39 wins behind Walter Alston.
That little count working up there in the Golden Moon level 2. Just put those banners up today honoring Bobby. The 2001 wins now.
That's a nice gesture, as is the flag that's flying near the chop house. Bobby received a replica of that flag in an on-field ceremony yesterday, signed by all the players and staff, and he thought that was a really cool gesture, and it was. 2 outs as Jaramillo pops out. That's 9 in a row set down by JJ. So at this pace, it'll only take Bobby 2,000 games to get to 4,000 wins. He's undefeated after his first 2.
Braves head to Baltimore after tomorrow afternoon's game, and they'll face Jason Birkin on Friday. Tell me what you know about Jason Birkin, Chip. What you got on him?
They have some I think his family owns the company that makes those cork sandals.
The Birkenstocks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good answer.
No idea.
That's better. That's more than I got.
No idea. But our colleague Buck Martinez on TBS follows the Orioles, and very noticeable youth movement underway there. We'll see Markakis. Matt Wieters, the Georgia Tech sensation.
I love their center fielder.
Brian Roberts, Adam Jones, who's a Mariner. You're going to love watching him play. He's something.
Got it.
Andy McPhail, their president, overseeing what he hopes will be a return to prominence for the Orioles. You remember in the day, that was as great a rivalry as the Red Sox and Yankees. It was Baltimore and the Yankees and Baltimore and Boston.
Andy McPhail, you certainly are familiar with him, but he also did a good job when he went to Minnesota. And Minnesota always did things right, developing through their farm system. And in days gone by, the Baltimore system was always very good, very productive.
The Oriole way.
Yes, the Oriole way, and that certainly has gotten away from them. And Andy McPhail may be one of those guys that, if he sticks to his guns, if they let him have the time to really beef up their farm system, can get that organization going again.
Yeah,
just a tough division.
Yeah, a very tough division with Toronto and Tampa Bay now all very tough. That could be a 5-team race as Wilson strikes out. 10 in a row, retired by Jurgens. He's punched out 7, but needs some offensive help.
Two to nothing going to the 6th. Let's take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule, brought to you by AirTran Airways. Go, there's nothing stopping you. Wrap up with a homestand on Sports South tomorrow. John Shambi and I will have that for you at 1:10. Braves Live will start a broadcast at 12:30. Then on the road, first 2 games on Sports South. The last game of the Orioles series on Fox Sports South. Our next game on Peachtree TV Friday, June 19th at Fenway Park. A 7:05 first pitch, 7 o'clock broadcast time.
Let's see if the Braves can get Karstens now at the top of the order up. Atlanta just 3 hits, one of them a double by Nate back in inning number 3 tonight. And Karstens has been a strike throwing machine.
35 strikes, 11 balls since he came in.
Charlie Morton started, left after 1 inning with a tight hamstring. Karstens was originally scheduled to start and to pitch out of the bullpen in that 15-inning game here in Atlanta. They moved him to the bullpen in favor of Morton, but after Charlie left, Karstens, long man tonight, just like a start. He's in his 5th inning already.
Hasn't struck anyone out, hasn't walked anybody. Maybe the Braves put it in play, but not with much authority.
There's a rocket, but pulled foul. Yeah, that upcoming road trip for Atlanta, at Baltimore, at Cincinnati, and then at Fenway Park in Boston. In fact, after this series, the Braves' schedule really toughens up. The Red Sox got the Yankees, the Reds with their pitching staff, as McCutchen drifts back and makes the play for out number one. That's what makes the remaining 2 games of this particular homestand so important for the Braves.
Absolutely it does. Gotta, especially playing at home, beat the teams that you should beat. Braves are 4-3 on this homestand after losing 2 out of 3 to Milwaukee over the weekend.
And the Braves will have 1 game with the Cubs on the 22nd of June. That's the makeup for the rained out game at the start of this homestand. That's a Monday, I believe, right after we get back from Boston.
That's correct.
Escobar with a single tonight. He's got 4 hits in the last 2 games for the Braves.
That was an off-speed pitch at 72, Chip. He's still throwing hard, just throwing softer on the off-speed.
Change speeds, hit spots, and you got trouble.
Anything 6, 7, 8 miles an hour difference is pretty good, but his is considerably more.
That one hung, and Escobar didn't miss it. That's an easy 2-base hit. 3rd double of the night for Atlanta. Escobar 2 for 3. And now the Braves in business. You've got Chipper and McCann due next, and 1 swing of the bat could tie this thing up.
Yunel's hitting 5 straight, and you're right. That breaking ball, it was breaking, but it was left up high. And able to keep it fair. Yunel last night, a 3-hit night, had 3 hits in each of his last 3 at-bats. 5 for his last 6.
Chipper jumped on the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning and drove it deep to right. But Moss caught it. He's also grounded out, so Chipper an 0 for 2 game. A nice pitch. Chipper thinking fastball, got a changeup. And he's dropped it in beautifully.
Their defense on the infield set up interesting because Jack Wilson is virtually right behind trying to hold Escobar close, but Sanchez way over in the hole. Try to take that away from Chipper. And remember, he hit the ball hard his first time up, right at about where Wilson is playing now.
Have they changed their outfield defense against Chipper too, with McCutchen playing more straight away in center? High fly ball hit to left. Morgan will catch. It seems to me they were playing him as an opposite field hitter in the outfield.
You're right, they were. That pitch appeared to get in on him a little bit, and that hasn't been happening.
Talked to Chipper before the game for the radio pregame show tonight. You and I talked about one of the things we were interested in. Why is Chipper's surge taking place now? And as you suspected, his hands feeling a lot better, his toe a lot better. I know it's something you preach and talk an awful lot about, a hitter being able to trust his hands to do the work. Chipper apparently is able to do that now.
And that all goes to staying back, not getting out on your front foot, letting the ball travel a little bit. You get a little better look at the pitch, and then let your hands react. And when they're feeling good and strong like Chipper's, you've seen the results on this homestand.
One ball outside, the Braves catcher Brian McCann. 1 ball and no strikes. McCann has one of the 3 Atlanta doubles tonight. Braves have 4 hits in total. They've left 3 men on base. Fly ball well hit. McCutchen on the run. Still going. Track and the wall off the top of the wall. A run is in. McCann at second. It's for now a 2-1 game. The Braves may ask for an appeal on this.
Bobby Cox also asked Glenn Hubbard's opinion before he went out on the field. Dana DeMuth had the call at third base, and Dana saying, hey, that was my call, Bobby. And Dana immediately pointed down like the ball stayed in the ballpark. I don't know if this will get replay consideration or not. Let's take a look ourselves. What a good swing by Bryant on a pitch out away from him. And it hits right on the yellow line, but comes back. It did not go over it. Got to clear that yellow line, and it hit in the top of the padding and came back inches, mere inches away from a home run, it appeared.
So the umpires can gather in the middle of the field. The crew chief can decide whether or not to replay the call. And for now, it's an RBI double to make it 2-1. But looking at that replay, I think you're right. The yellow line means nothing, only in that it's a border.
Yeah, it's a demarcation point.
It doesn't matter if it hits it or whatever. But there is a moat behind the fence, which is designed to keep the fans from interfering with the ball. But it hits the yellow line, and from this particular angle, looks like the ball goes straight in the air and then comes back onto the field of play. And the rule is there has to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call. And for now, the call is a two-base hit for Brian McCann. They will go to review it, and there will have to be some sort of video that would show that this call should not be a double for it to be considered a home run for McCann.
All right, we're going to try to track this for you and circle it at the point of contact. Right there, you can see the blur of the baseball, and it's hitting the yellow line, and it even makes an indentation in the padding that pops up and comes back onto the field of play.
Now, from that angle, I can't tell. It didn't ricochet off anything in the back, did it?
It does not appear to hit the fence and then hit the concrete and then come back. It appears to just hit the padding and stay on the field, and I think the umpires got it right.
And back on that shot, I talked about the moat. There's a 4-foot gap between the back edge of the fence. In other words, the part of the fence that's closer to the stands,
back here,
to the green wall.
To here.
Yes. So, yeah, very quick review. But give Dana DeMuth and his crew credit. They got it right initially, which they do many times. And then just to make sure, they reviewed the play, and the review and replay confirmed that original call. Look at that great shot. There's the well or moat, which eliminates fan interference in this ballpark.
I believe that's the first replay here at Turner Field, too. And that's going to do it for Karstens, who did a good job coming in the second inning.
Indeed he did. 1, 2, 3, 4 innings and 2/3 for Karstens in place of Charlie Morton. He leaves with a lead, but the lead has been trimmed in half. It's a 2-1 game. McCann at second, Garrett Anderson coming on to hit as the Pirates make this call to the bullpen.
Know by now, the digital TV conversion is only 2 days away, and we want to make sure it's going to be a smooth one for you. If you need any information, you need a little bit of know-how, all you need to do is go to PeachtreeTV.com.
Well, the Pirates have proud chests tonight so far. 2-1. Here's your score. Nice job by Karstens. 4 2/3 of 4-hit relief. All the hits were doubles, which is rather odd.
And what's also odd was that this was supposed to be his scheduled start, but with the call up of Charlie Morton, he was moved to the bullpen. Morton only pitched 1 inning, so Karstens worked anyway. And Sean Burnett is in the 3rd game of this series. Pitched an inning and a third Monday night, gave up a hit, no runs. Pitched a third of an inning last night, gave up a hit, a run, and a walk.
Aaron Anderson's been tied up twice. Let's see if he can come up with a big 2-out hit and tie this game. A lot of time left tonight. Jurgens has settled in nicely. Now his deficit just 2-1.
Did not face him on in either of the first 2 games of this series, but a .342 average against lefties.
One ball, 1 strike. Braves have scored at least 3 runs in 3 consecutive games on this portion of the homestand. First time that's happened since the middle of last month. Got some work to do if they're to make it 4 in a row. And ball 2 sweeps outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Quite a difference between, obviously lefty to righty, but as hard as Burnett is throwing and what he throws with a good hard slider compared to Karstens.
High pop fly again, left side.
He lost it.
And steady as she comes, Jack Wilson is there to bail out everybody else.
Nyjer Morgan had no idea where that ball was.
So Karstens preserves the lead. It's now 2-1. We head to the 7th.
Coca-Cola. Where else but the world of Coca-Cola could jog a 7-foot-tall polar bear? Take home a free 8-ounce glass bottle of Coke produced on site and taste over 60 different beverages from around the world. Make plans to visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
Great baseball night here in Atlanta, and how fitting is that cap? It's Bark in the park after dark night and a dog's hat. Ah, whoa, wow.
Nothing like a friendly dog at the park.
Yes. That shot must have been taken by our producer, Glenn Hyman.
I'm not sure.
Sick 'em.
I'm not sure it would matter who was filming that dog.
Man.
Gee, what fun.
Yeah. Eric O'Flaherty is on to pitch the 7th inning. And they have O'Flaherty's leprechauns dancing in the upper deck. And did that hit him? Yes, it did. How about that? Monroe hit by a pitch. The second Pirate hitter plunked in the game.
I'm not sure what this hit. I guess, yeah, just his jersey. So Craig Monroe is pinch plunked.
Last thing you want to do, put the leadoff man on in a tight game, and McCutcheon, the hitter, 0 for 3 so far tonight.
Yeah, and Jurgens had retired 10 in a row leading into that.
JJ went 6, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. But as we talked about, a lot of pitches in the first 3 innings cost him tonight.
Yeah, all 3 walks. Put him behind the 8 ball a little bit from the pitch count standpoint.
And that was one of your keys, was it not?
It was. Be more efficient. That and Charlie's jitters. Now, the report we got on Morton, if you just joined us after pitching an inning, was that we had heard that he was a little ill before the game, but then we heard that he also had a strained hamstring.
Well, whatever it was an impressive debut in a Pirate uniform for him tonight, despite a 13-pitch first inning. And well,
don't waste it.
That's called when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Watch the spray coming out of the bottle. That's funny.
That's a very difficult dilemma. Do you go after the $8.50 baseball or save the $8.50 beer?
Oh, good point.
Right?
Yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Squibber, this might be tough just to get 1. Better hurry. That's good as a sacrifice. Monroe to second, 1 out.
Left fielder number 3, Niger Morgan.
2-hit game for Niger Morgan. 2 singles, a steal, a run scored. He's also struck out.
Again, Chipper playing him in close at third base. Inside the bag, actually, to try to take away any bunt attempt. And when you have to respect the bunting ability of a guy like Morgan, it shortens your range. As we saw in the first inning when Morgan slapped one by him.
That was right down the line, too. And Chipper gave it the old Brooks Robinson dive attempt. And the ball scooted right on past him. Lefty's hitting just a .194 against O'Flaherty this year. Let's see if he can improve on that, as he has Morgan behind 1 and 2 now. You might ask, what's Niger Morgan hitting against left-handed pitchers?
I would.
Oh, you're asking?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would ask. Yes.
Okay. 137.
Thanks. Why don't you just tune me out right there?
No, I
set it up and
I
then
just
just
wanted to. I just wanted to make sure.
How about this?
Down the left field line foul.
How about this? Freddie Sanchez is on deck. And I've seen guys try to creep over behind home plate to get a good look at the pitcher. I've never seen one creep over toward the third base coach. Maybe in case he needs to run in the dugout and get another bat.
Could be. Maybe if the third base coach falls down, he can step in and help out in that regard. Little pop behind third. Chipper slowing. Finds the rail and runs out of room. That ball hit the bottom of the bat. There's a break.
Are you kidding me?
Right off the knob of the bat. Morgan thought he was getting the benefit of a hit batsman. Instead, the Braves get a huge break and no advance by Monroe from second.
If he hadn't run, they probably would have said it was a hit batsman. But right off the knob. And then it was like, oh no, and he took off running.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't know that I have either, especially with a guy that can run like that who decided I better run instead of trusting the umpire.
Billiards cue shot. The Braves retire Morgan. They'll pitch around Sanchez and go after LaRoche with Eric O'Flaherty. And Adam hitting just .217 against lefties this year for the Pirates. That's why this move takes place. Peter Moylan's up in the bullpen should LaRoche reach. You've got the right-handed Andy LaRoche waiting on deck.
Yeah, but Bobby's hoping that Eric can take care of business right here.
Flaherty very quietly has had a very nice year in the Braves bullpen.
LaRoche has never faced him. That should work to the advantage of Eric. There are the splits that are not in the favor of Adam, at least in this situation with a lefty out there.
Too high, ball one.
Need to hold him right there, though. You've got it down to a one-run deficit. And hitting the first batter with the first pitch put O'Flaherty in trouble, where he's had to work pretty hard this inning.
Outfield shades LaRoche toward left. Braves normal positioning on the infield with Kelly Johnson back on the cut of the outfield grass with a left-hand batter up. And Brian McCann was the man that requested time there, and it was granted. Powder River 1-2.
Good pitch. It's funny, Chip. Sometimes the umpire will or will not give the hitter timeout depending on what's going on in the bat. But if he hears that catcher yelling timeout, it's automatic. It's immediately a timeout for the umpire, because it's like he's saying, hey, you're the one putting your pitcher at risk here.
Ground ball up the middle. Kelly knocks it down. Backhand flip at second. Runner coming home. Escobar throws it wide.
He went to sleep. Kelly made a great play to keep it from getting into center field and almost got it out. And went to sleep.
He was shocked that Monroe kept running around third, and Bobby Cox can't believe it. The Braves, at the very least, should have the bases loaded and 2 outs. But Escobar, after catching the ball, put it in his back pocket, and look at Monroe streaking around third with a big third Pirate run.
Escobar actually spins around here and started looking to first, like he might get the runner at first base, and forgot all about the runner that he had just been holding on.
So the hit by pitch costs Atlanta dearly in the 7th inning. Give the Pirates their 3rd run of the ball game. O'Flaherty with a bad bit of pitching luck, however, did indeed create the mess with the hit by pitch. 3-1 Pittsburgh in front. Bobby Cox in the Braves bullpen again in the 7th inning.
Time for tonight's Home Depot know-how question. It comes from Justin Machado in Atlanta, who wants to know, is it possible for a pitcher to record a win without throwing a pitch? And the answer is yes, Justin. You could come in, let's use this as an example, with the score tied, bases loaded, and pick a guy off. Ends the inning. You come in the bottom of the ninth, your team scores a run, you get the win. You never threw a pitch to the plate. You pick the guy off. That would be one way to do it. Peter Moylan would love a pickoff right here.
Yeah. He'd like easy at bat against LaRoche and send this thing to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Pirates just flat out stole a run a minute ago.
Sure did. Hustling all the way was Monroe, never stopped.
Now, defensive Escobar, you mentioned he took a shot and a glance at first base. Somebody's got to shout to him, the runner's going home, right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know that didn't happen.
Well, it might. Somebody's probably going to yell, hey, 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 you know, pay attention. But he was just holding that runner on. The guy just crossed in front of him when he went up the middle on that ground ball. How long does it take for you to forget? See, that guy's crossing right in front of him. He just saw him. And it apparently never dawned on him that Monroe might keep running.
I think he might have been surprised that Kelly Johnson knocked that ball down.
Could have been.
And now it's 3-0 from Moylan with 2 outs to LaRoche.
Just a mental lapse.
It was an infield hit and an RBI. As Monroe never stopped running, and the Pirates extend their lead. And now with 2 on, 2 out. Andy LaRoche will face a 3-1 pitch.
It's a different angle after Kelly makes the flip. Escobar looks to first. Looks like he's getting ready to call timeout. And in that instance, you would assume that he never, ever expected Monroe to keep running.
Bases are loaded for Pittsburgh. Sanchez to third. LaRoche to second. Andy LaRoche to first. And now Moss, the batter, with a walk and 2 strikeouts.
Peter had a rough outing against the Pirates in the first game of this series. Came in, only got a third of an inning. 4 hits, 3 runs allowed.
Well, one stat that really jumps off the page when you look at Moylan is the first batter retired stat. And that's one of the more critical ones for a relief pitcher. He's retired 19 of his first 31 men. He gets the second in Moss, and no further damage done. The Pirates get a run on a hit by pitch, and Escobar's mental mistake. 3-1, middle of the 7th inning in Atlanta. Couple of changes for the Pirates now as they protect a 3-1 lead. Craig Monroe, with his very alert base running, stays in the game to play right. And John Grabo becomes the third Pirate reliever, fourth Pirate pitcher to work in tonight's game.
Last of their lefties out of the bullpen. He's undefeated this year. Good numbers. That time somebody hangs a loss on him.
That would be nice. Well, he turns around, bats right-handed. He's 0 for 2 in the game, 0 for 7 in the series. And Grabo has been good. Out of play foul.
Come on, Norton.
As we said at the start of the broadcast, the Pirates, a lot of losing seasons. They're 7 games out. They're trying to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight. They earned their 27th win of the year and first of this series. And Norton down on 3 pitches. Boy, is he really struggling at the plate. 1 up, 1 down for Francoeur, who's 0 for 2. Braves do not have a hit from the 5th spot through the rest of the bottom of their batting order tonight. Zach Anderson on down, 0 for 12. As we check out the Georgia Lottery scorecard, brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. That's another one of your keys tonight, Joe. Bottom of the order production. To third. LaRoche has that. Toss across low, but in time. 0 for 13 is the lower portion tonight, and 2 are out.
We talked about some guys who are all-star candidates. Chipper, McCann, Escobar. They just so happened about bat second, third, and fourth. You got McLeod now in the leadoff spot, doing good things. So the guys in the bottom half are going to have to start chipping in a little more. There's been some games on this homestand where they've done quite well.
Still looking?
Yeah.
Come on, big guy.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Francoeur had the home run against Kevin Gregg against the Cubs at the start of the homestand. That was
well, and from 5th on down in the win over the Cubs too.
Rip.
6 of the 7 runs were scored by the guys in the bottom part of the order. But it's got to be on a more consistent basis.
Kelly 1 for 10 in this series. And 5 for his last 32. Wow. Grabo looked awfully sharp, didn't he? Takes care of Norton, Francoeur, and Johnson in short order. 8th inning. 3-1 Pirates. Well, if I had a vote, I would say let's impeach this Pirate pitching staff. They've done a great job tonight, haven't they? It all started with Charlie Morton exiting after 1, and the relief corps has been outstanding for him.
Well, it's important for the Braves relief corps to hold them right there. It's back to a 2-run game, but Peter Moylan needs to have a good 8th inning, top of the order, or a pinch hitter for the pitcher, and then the top of the order due up in the 8th for Atlanta.
Jason Jaramillo, the batter, he is credited with a single and an RBI tonight and 2 fish at bats. He's also walked in the game. $21,610 two-legged customers at the ballpark. Not sure what the canine count is yet.
I want to say around 60.
60?
Yeah, 60 to 70.
Wow. It's a pretty light turnout. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a hot shot to Greg Norton, who goes to a knee. Good play, 1 out.
This bears repeating. We put it up for the Pirates, talking about the last day they were at 500. Remember, they haven't had a winning season since 1992. In this decade, April, May, one time in June back in 2005. They were never at 500 in 06. April, and early May, the last dates that they were at 500. So it's not that they've gotten down to the wire the last week of the season and had a shot.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. And you can understand.
Sad.
Well, yeah, and you can understand with that kind of futility from the middle of the summer on. Frankly, when school's just getting out, they're out of it. Why there's so much fan discontent with the Pirates. And it's really a cyclical thing. If the fans don't come out and support them, they're not going to have the finances to go out and sign and keep their players. But the fans keep saying, well, we keep buying into our players and you keep trading them away. It's a terrible, vicious cycle they're in.
And they're good fans in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
They're good sports fans. They love all their teams.
And I don't want to sound like I'm kicking the ownership of the Pirates. Look, there are economic realities there that I'm sure I certainly don't understand.
Well, this is only Mr. Nutting's 2nd year of ownership. I think he was I'm going to guess, a minority partner at one time.
Kevin McClatchy when his group had it.
But Bob Nutting took over the club in January of 07. So this is his beginning of his 3rd year.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Wilson, who moves his feet and has an even count. But look, everybody talks, well, as the Yankees or the Red Sox go, so goes Major League Baseball. The Pittsburghs and the Kansas Cities and the Clevelands, the Floridas of the world, those are extremely important franchises too. As Wilson, an emergency hack, keeps this at bat alive. And they're important because, fans don't come out to watch the Yankees play the Yankees. They come out to watch the Yankees play the Pirates or the Mets or the Braves or whomever. And if the smaller markets are healthy, then one would assume that the larger markets are going to be healthy too.
Well, there's a great model out there if teams want to look at an organization that continues to be successful, and that's the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
Because they just keep pouring talented players out of their system. They draft well, they develop, they're in a small market, they compete. They don't go out and sign a bunch of free agents. When their players become free agent eligible, if they're not able to sign them, here comes another guy through the pipeline.
The thing about Minnesota that I think will be fascinating to watch this offseason, as Wilson taps to the mound. Minnesota for so many years has made so much hay inside the Metrodome. They are not a good road team. They're not a good team that plays on the natural surface. Next year they move into Target Field, which is an open-air, outdoor, natural grass baseball stadium.
Cold.
How is that going to affect the way that Minnesota plays as you look? Detroit, cold weather city. Chicago, Cleveland, Kansas City may be the lone exception in that AL Central now.
It can get cold in April in Kansas City too, buddy. Trust me. But I think it'll have a big impact on the Twins and the way they play. I hope it doesn't for their fans' sake, because they're loyal fans too, and they have always loved the Metrodome, because in early spring they can go and know they're going to see a ball game.
Yep.
But it will be interesting to follow. They don't have a retractable roof because they didn't have enough money for it.
1 ball, no strikes. The count 2 in a row. In fact, Dad used to say the old stadium across the street here, when they were building Fulton County Stadium, the original plans were to have a dome because of the heat and humidity here in the summer, but they needed $1 more million, and they were tapped out in the 60s. They could not raise any more money than they did for Fulton County Stadium.
Should have called Diamond.
Yeah, no question. Deep pockets, Diamond would call him. I know Glenn's very well connected politically. I'm sure that'd be very easy for him to come up with that kind of bill.
He wanted a big D on the top of the dome, though, and the city just wouldn't go for it.
And the D that would be under the dome, the diamond that's underneath, isn't enough for him?
That's true.
So again, the Pittsburgh franchise, very proud, great players over its history, world championships, beautiful ballpark, passionate fan base. The only thing that's missing is the winning. And hopefully that won't come in tonight's ball game. Monroe pops to short. 3 up, 3 down for Moylan in the 8th inning. Braves bats have got to get busy. It's late, down 3-1. Coming up, and Matt Diaz is going to come on and pinch hit for Peter Moylan here. Diaz, McLeod, Escobar, Jones, McCann, and Anderson, the next 6 Atlanta hitters scheduled. Rabel on for another inning after he dazzled in the 7th, striking out 2 men among the 3 he retired.
Pirates closer is Matt Capps. He missed a few games earlier this season with some elbow problems that scared the Pirates to death, but he's come back and he has saved. He's been 7 for 7 and has saved opportunities recently.
He's a Georgia boy too.
Yep.
Liner into right, well struck. Monroe reaches up and makes the play. He almost Cadillac that one into a double. Diaz out number 1.
He almost cut this angle a little too sharp. Matt hit that ball right on the nose. Craig then had to make a little bit of a right turn, but he did make the catch.
5 straight Braves have been retired. Here's McLeod. He's doubled in 3 trips. And lays down a bunt, but it's right to the mound. And 2 are out.
Good idea against a left-handed pitcher who you watch to see if they fall off the mound a little bit to the third base side. Try to drag one. He just didn't pull it close enough to the line. Burnett is following through to the third base side, but didn't have far to go to pick up the bunt. Otherwise, it's a base hit. Good idea. It's not a perfectly placed one. And I said Burnett, it's Grabo out there.
Come on, F.
Unell 2 for 3 in the game tonight, has been the only man that's touched the plate for the Braves in this game. Quick turnaround tonight. Paul Maholm for the Pirates, Javi Vasquez for the Braves tomorrow, 1:10, a business fan special. And then it's off to Baltimore Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for interleague play.
Maholm, sorry, Chip. Maholm's been their most consistent starter, 4-2, an ERA in the high threes, just a .261 average against him.
Well, with Charlie Morton starting the game tonight for the Pirates, there are now only 2 teams in Major League Baseball that have used only 5 starters this entire season. Milwaukee's one of them, the Giants the other team. Monroe near the seats makes the play in plenty of foul ground, and another spotless inning for John Grabo. 6 men up, 6 men retired, and we head to the 9th.
Of the game, AM PM, too much good stuff. And on this occasion, a ground ball up the middle, runners at first and second. Kelly did a good job of knocking the ball down, but Craig Monroe never stopped running from second base, and Yunel Escobar lost track of him. And when he realized that he was heading to the plate, his throw was too late, too far off the mark. Too much good stuff for Craig Monroe and the Pirates there. That added to the lead. It's 3-1 going to the 9th, and Jeff Bennett on the pitch.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Jeff Bennett, 29 today. And only the 2nd time in his career he's actually pitched on his birthday. The last opportunity came in 2004 while with the Brewers. He pitched against the Angels. Top of the order, Andrew McCutchen starts things off.
It's not the only celebration today. June 10th. June 10th is also anniversary day for old Hal Galima and his wife Tamara.
Fly ball down the right field line. And well out of play.
How many is this, Hal? 9 years.
And how old's the tater tot? 6. Wow.
Congratulations.
Hal's a lucky man.
Tamara is a saint.
Yes, and Christina, her nickname is Tater Tot. She loves it when we say her daddy's name on TV, she said. Ground ball to third. So Christina, Hal Galima. 1 out. She said the other day, Hal was saying, my daughter loves it when you say my name on TV. She called him and said, that's the only reason I watch. Daddy, I want to hear Mr. Chip say your name on TV.
That's funny.
So 1 away in the 9th inning, and congratulations, Hal and Tamara. Here's Morgan, 2 for 4. He scored a run. Bennett's got the first out here in the 9th. Who will be the hammer in the 9th inning for Atlanta?
You always like to have people get on base in front of Chipper, but in this instance, he's going to have to be the rally starter. He leads off the inning.
And you've got McCann waiting, and there's a bunt. Speaking of McCann, pounces, spins, fires, got him by a quarter step. Good play. Boy, he has improved his footwork so much. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, pretty good bunt, too, by Morgan. You know how he runs. He was already leaving the box when he put it down. But Brian McCann spoiled that good execution. Barehands the pickup and fired a bullet over there to Greg Norton. Good play by Brian McCann.
And 2 outs for Sanchez, who is 1 for 3 with an intentional walk. He keeps hitting Braves pitching. He's 9 for 22 against the Braves this year.
Looking for his 5th multi-hit game in 5 starts against them this year.
Is this one of the guys in the game that could roll out of bed and hit 290, 300?
You think he is, yeah, because he never seems to go in any slumps. I know he's not on a real good roll right now. 6 for his last 33 coming into the game tonight. And that's really a bad stretch for him.
Fastball, 2 balls and a strike. Line pass, Norton and into right field. Another multi-hit game for Sanchez. Francoeur has the ball elude him in the corner, but it's a double with 2 outs.
And he hits to all fields. We were talking about his direction of hits, and they're split evenly between left and right field, but he doesn't pick on the dregs of a pitching staff. Against the top 10 in wins, a 300 average, ERA 364, and even the guys who fan a lot of people, a 400 average. Goes the other way here on a fastball, a little bit of an inside-out swing. And he's made 5 starts against Atlanta for the year, and he's got 5 multi-hit games against them.
LaRoche will be intentionally walked. And boy, those are numbers that any National League second baseman would love to see against the top 10.
You know it. I mean, and what a luxury to have such a fine offensive player in the middle infield. Anytime you've got your middle infielders contributing with the glove and the bat, it's a huge bonus.
So one more wide one will put LaRoche aboard. And now Andy is up with 2 on and 2 men out. It's been an odd night for LaRoche. He's been hit by a pitch. He's reached on a forced play and scored. He's grounded out and he's walked. Pittsburgh's left 9 men on base so far in this game, and they lead by a 3-1 score.
No activity in the Braves bullpen, but Matt Capps is throwing in the Pirates pen. And this time when we say there's activity in the Pirates pen, there's no one vacuuming. The other night in that 15-inning game, about, I don't know, a little after 11 o'clock, we were in extra innings and shot the bullpen. There's a guy down there with a vacuum cleaner going to clean up the bullpen.
Perfect. Good stop, McCann. Come on, Jeff. 2 balls, no strikes.
He said, hey, my shift started at 11:30.
He was going to clean that bullpen no matter what. Get me over fastball. Got over. 2 balls and a strike.
Can't afford any more runs. Pinch hitter to luck. Eric Hinske's on deck, so get this guy. He likes to swing it. Maybe he'll chase something. We've seen LaRoche chase some high fastballs in this series already. That big swing of his.
Runners go, and that one nailed McCann behind the plate.
Right on the toe. Looked like it may have ricocheted off the glove first, so it took kind of a funny angle down there.
Seeing more and more catchers wearing that top of the foot protection too, as the shin guards are extended. Protect against those foul tips. The side of the foot guards, the knee savers.
I like those straps that kind of help hold those hard shells down.
Runners go, 3-2, bases loaded. Hinske will hit. A double, an intentional walk, and an unintentional walk as the Pirates in business in the 9th inning. And these are very important runners because, as good as Matt Capps can be, he has a lot of base runners. Cannot give him any more. So Hinske for Graybo, who went 2 very effective innings tonight with 2 strikeouts.
Hinske had a big pinch hit here a couple of nights ago in that extra inning game. Drove in a couple of runs. Hitting .286 overall, but 6 for 18 as a pinch hitter. That's good work.
Hinske started last night's game, doubled and walked and scored, so it's been a productive series for him.
He's kind of the man of the hour there in the jacket, and that was Karstens, who was forced into duty after Morton only went an inning. Karstens 4 2/3 innings of 1-run ball.
Right there for a strike. Popped up. Will it stay in play? No, it won't. 0-2 is your count.
Hinske last year with Tampa Bay hit .247, 20 homers and 60 RBIs. 1 for 2 in the World Series with a home run.
That's got to be every kid's dream come true. Hit a home run in the World Series. The only thing better would be to win it, which the Phillies did instead of Hinske's Tampa Bay Rays. 0-2, the bases loaded, and there's your inning right down central. Hinske fooled by Bennett, who does indeed have a happy birthday appearance. He strands 3 more Pirates. They've left 12. Will it cost him in the 9th? Part of the order coming up, down 2 for Atlanta.
Now we want you to remember, we want you to join us for the third movie in the free summer movie series. I'm talking about Peachtree TV's Screen on the Green tomorrow, Thursday, June 11th at Centennial Olympic Park. Now he said, if you build it, he will come. And I'm talking about the classic baseball movie Field of Dreams, starring Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones. For a full list of Peachtree TV's Screen on the Green movies, all you need to do is go to PeachtreeTV.com, baby.
And that was Moonlight Graham that was the big baseball star in that particular flick.
I love Moonlight Graham. Great movie. I'd go on the green to watch that one.
So we invite you to join JJ and the gang tomorrow night. Let's see if the Braves can get it done against Matt Capps. Braves have but one win this year when they trail after 8. They're 1-25, but they've got their toughest offensive trio coming up. Jones, McCann, and Anderson in this final frame.
Capps has a very high ERA, 5.30. He does have 13 saves, and he's 7 for his last 7. Throws hard. Last pitch was at 95. But he has allowed a .329 average against him. That's highly unusual for him given his success last couple of years.
And what has to give you hope in a 2-run game, Capps has only retired 11 of 21 first batters. So right around 50%. So you've got to figure that with Chipper Jones up, he's got a very good chance of coaxing his way onto the base paths against Capps.
Yeah, those are bad numbers for a closer.
He's behind, 2 balls and a strike. High fly ball hammered to left. Morgan back and makes the catch. Speed never slumps, and he caught up to that ball. It found another gear, 1 out.
That and playing deep. 2-run lead in the 9th. Try to keep everything in front of you, so he was in prime position with his speed and positioning to be able to track this one down. This ball probably would have hit the wall on the fly if he hadn't been playing deep.
A pair of doubles in 3 trips for McCann and the lone Braves RBI.
These two guys were teammates out of high school playing for Team Georgia in the Sun Belt Classic in Oklahoma back in 2001, and the Georgia team won the title. Jeff Francoeur was also on that team. Capps was out of Alexander, Georgia High School.
Ryan 1 for 2 lifetime against the Pirate closer. Good off-speed pitch has him behind the count, 1-2.
Ryan 1 for 2 against Capps in his career. Matt had a save against the Braves in the first game of the series in Pittsburgh back in April. And a 1-2-3 easy inning.
Foul. It's now 2-2. But anytime a hard-throwing guy like Capps has elbow trouble, that raises red flags, and that's something that, as you mentioned, had the Pirates very concerned a couple of weeks ago.
Well, he's got a real short arm action, and it makes it difficult to pick the ball up out of his hand too. When he throws that hard and gets on you quickly.
Ground ball right side. Sanchez has it. And the Braves are down to their final out. Garrett Anderson is 0 for 3. Again, from Anderson on down. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 0 for 15 is the Braves offense.
We talked about the Braves having more 1-run wins this year than they had all last year. Also a good record with 2-run decisions, having a winning record anyway, 4-3. But they trail by 2 tonight. Need a base runner.
Got Norton on deck. Then Jeff Francoeur. The man who's had the most luck against Caps is Braves backup catcher David Ross. And that one hit a mile in the air, deep right field. We all of a sudden have a one-run game. Third home run for Anderson.
He's hit 3 homers, and I think they've all been similar pitches, Chip, that are up and out over the plate, and he can really get on that same plane as the pitch and crush him. That one was a little bit above the belt. We've seen him hit even one that's close to shoulder high. Great swing.
And that's why you hope to have a base runner at some point. You hoped Caps would give it up. He's given up 1. Now a 1-1 count to Braves first baseman Greg Norton, who's 0 for 3.
Make him throw you a good pitch. Giving up a homer might cause him to be a little tentative.
High fly ball into right center field, but it's playable. Who wants it? It'll be Craig Monroe, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have picked up a win in this series. A 1-run defeat for Atlanta tonight. 3-2 is your final score. Jeff Karsten's an unsung hero for the Pirates. Pitched 4 2/3 innings of 1-run relief of Charlie